Welcome to my channel. My name is Alex and I travel full-time with my cat and my FJ Cruiser. Sometimes we take the travel trailer with us, other times all we've got is our overlanding setup. Last time I set the RV up in Mexico for Shadow, left him there, and then took a flight to Atlanta to spend Christmas with my family, including my mom, my dad, and also family members who came up from Jamaica. This week, you're running errands with me, just my everyday life when I was in Mexico, what's in the grocery store, how I get propane, what the roads are like when it rains, so you can decide if Mexico is right for you. I rang in 2022 with a wicked storm that took out the lights and the internet. If I'm not mistaken, I think we also lost water, but I have a freshwater tank that I kept full, so I was okay. Once the storm passed, about a day or two later, I decided I should probably go get propane and run a couple of errands because I had only just returned to Mexico about 2 days before after my trip to Atlanta. If you're wondering why I'm wearing a mask, I don't know why you're wondering why I'm wearing a mask. We're in a pandemic, and Mexico actually takes it very seriously, unlike the United States. People wear masks everywhere, just like they do in California. And so you are expected to have a mask on in public, and in some areas, you can be fined if you are not wearing one. I don't know if that's changed since I left. I was there from October 2021 to March 2022. Because of all the rain, some of the roads were pretty badly washed out, and so I had to drive through that to get propane, not realizing that there was another way to get there. But that's okay. I have an FJ Cruiser for a reason, and it made it through with no problem. I actually did it in H4 instead of low 4. And what's crazy is I did it with highway tires. So if you're ever wondering how badass an FJ Cruiser is, here is your answer. The downside, of course, is that the entire FJ was just splattered with mud, but that's okay. We came for propane and we got our propane. One of the issues I had with getting this filled, it seems like there's a valve difference between what I had and what they use in Mexico, but they figured it out. After that, I decided to go to Sam's. I never had a Sam's card in America, but I got one in Mexico because there were just some things they didn't have. What do they have in Sam's? So you saw appliances. There are different kinds of cat food, probably not as many as you would see in the United States. They have tons of pastries. I usually get the cheesecake when I stop by. And if you're a meat person, I'm not, but they have tons of options. There were even Jamaican items like Jamaican sorrel or hibiscus, as the Americans call it. And we also had, regular non-food items that you would have in a Sam's. I grabbed a bottle of white wine because I was fresh out. Electronics are also sold in Mexico at the Sam's and Staples in Mexicali and a bunch of other places, but they're super expensive compared to the US. So that was Sam's. Then I went to Bodega Herrera, which I call fake Walmart because it does sell Walmart items and it is, of course, right next to Sam's. Everything that you need is also here. I mean, like I said, there were a couple of things I go to Sam's for, but I actually do the majority of my shopping in the bodega. The fish is the number one reason I go to the store. This is how we have fish in Jamaica with the head on or sliced this way, and it is very, very hard to find them like that in the United States. Oh my God, do I miss that? Lots of pineapples, other fresh fruits. They have strawberries. And then my absolute favorite soda ever, I discovered in Mexico. I have had every single flavor of this. Don't judge me. I'm probably going to grab about four. Mind your business. And then we go ahead and get some eggs. The eggs look like eggs anywhere else. I say that because Jamaican eggs look different, but that is probably a discussion for another video. Right now, let's get to my absolute favorite bakery. If you're wondering about the prices, it is 18 to 20 Mexican pesos to $1. At least that's what it was at the time I was there. And the exchange rate, from what I've heard, is actually pretty stable. So I don't think that it's changed. My absolute favorite thing to get at the store is the cheesy bread. It's like a little hot dog bun kind of, but tastes so good. And then inside it has delicious cheeses. And of course, I'll grab a whole bunch of other things just to try them. That's a cheesy bread right there. So delicious. Then I stopped by the fruiteria to get some hot peppers. Absolutely love these. They're not as hot in the US, but they're nice and spicy in Mexico. Then I go home, park the truck, and lock the gate so that I am once again safe at home. Of course, propane was the number one reason I left that day, so that's the first thing that I sorted out when I got back. As far as price, I just remembered I forgot to say, but I paid about $10 or $11 somewhere around there for the propane. I still wipe down all my groceries. I never changed my pandemic guidelines from the start of the pandemic until now. To some people, this is like a huge hassle. I've been doing it for what, 2, 3 years now. So to me, it's just another part of getting groceries. I also keep the RV pretty clean, not always tidy, but always clean. Of course, while I'm washing up, Shadow is just sitting around being cute because that's what he does. I want to come back as my cat one day. Speaking of living with a cat, that actually necessitates a lot more cleaning than I think I would otherwise have to do, but that's okay. He's totally worth it. Between the cat fur, the sand outside, and the dust from out of his litter box, there's definitely a lot of cleaning involved on my days off because I like to keep a clean house. Not always tidy, but always clean. Because of my cat and also my own allergies, when I bought the RV, I was very committed to getting something that did not have carpeted floors. As a result, the only thing I need to vacuum once or twice a week is this little piece of rug where if it ever got to the point where vacuuming doesn't work, I can just toss it out and get another one. I also vacuum the bathroom rug because Shadow likes to spend a lot of time lying there. And if you're wondering, just from these two little spaces that I vacuumed, this is how much kitty hair was inside. The vacuum breaks down into multiple pieces so that you can also use it as a hand vacuum. And that also makes it very handy to just toss it in the couch storage and the broom can fit in there as well. The following day, I took all my stuff to the laundromat to wash, and to pass the time, I just got up and did some more cleaning and washing up. The RV had been sitting there for 2 weeks, so Shadow's litter box definitely needed a clean. I actually don't usually use a laundromat service. This was my first time, but I wanted to wash my camping gear, my comforter sets, stuff that I cannot wash in a 5 gallon bucket and hang out on my line like I would usually do with my clothes. So I decided to try the service, which many of my friends had used before. It was a little bit pricey, I would say about comparable to what you would pay in the United States, but the main difference is that they washed it for me. It is possible that I could have washed it myself, but I didn't want to sit around in a laundromat. I am a high risk person, so I generally don't sit inside in public spaces. As soon as the Murphy bed, Shadow likes to run behind there, but I really needed to get some brushing in and just clean him up as best as possible to reduce how much more fur we were going to find all over the place. Look at this enormous pile of extra kitty that is just sitting in my hand. There used to be a decorative leg on the Murphy bed right here, and I took it off and put this up because it was heavy and served no purpose. Then I sit down usually and I work on my reels or my YouTube videos. And of course, if you're wondering what I did with all the groceries that I bought, this is all the vegetables and stuff nicely chopped up for spicy gravy that I will pour over my fish, which I did in the air fryer, and mashed potatoes. Next time I am taking you guys camping with me. This is actually why I wanted to wash my camping gear. I actually had to cross the border to pay my taxes to Uncle Sam, so I figured I might as well make a camping trip with Shadow out of it. Remember to like and subscribe even if you don't have access to all of my private videos right now. Remember, I post YouTube shorts, so watch out for those, and I'll see you next time.